Bite-Size Thursday here at Off Slate Studios. Jake is here, Jared is here, me, your host, Dickey, and we are once again talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you have kept watching up to this point, we are on episode 15. If you're new here, go give the episode 15 of Book 1 a watch, come back, and enjoy our conversation. So before we watch the episode, this is Bato of the Water Tribe. I truly don't remember anything.
I remember...
And I know this happens like all the time, like now that we're going back through and watching it. I don't really remember.
I remember a YouTuber talking about how it was one of their least favorite for a certain out-of-character act by Aang, to which I've always been on the fence about. I think I talked with Jake earlier today about, I remember what the choice is, and it's like, I get it. I also didn't like watching it, but I think the YouTuber did not like the episode. And I don't remember what YouTuber, it might have been like Nostalgia Critic or someone way back. Okay. And then I've also heard other people when people talk about their least favorite episodes, this is always on there.
Interesting. It's just...
Yeah, but then I saw the thumbnail just now on Paramount Plus. I go, oh, the whip lady's in this. The lady with the whip and the smelly animal
is it
thing.
Just me? I'm trying to remember in my head. It kind of looks like an anteater.
Yeah, I think that's...
It's like an anteater mole cross sort of thing.
It's a mole eater.
I'm here. I still love that they just combine animals, and maybe that's what they were going for. In this, they were literally just okay, for this one, we're gonna make some hideous creature that we can think of because nobody ever watches moles or anteaters. That's why they look creepy. Yeah, that makes sense.
But that's all I remember is Aang making this out of character quote unquote choice, which in hindsight is I don't know if it's as bad as this person is saying, but we'll have to.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it. Jake, is there anything else you want to mention before we watch this?
I don't think I dislike this episode. Well, Jared talks about a lot of people don't like it. I don't remember not liking it.
I don't remember not liking it.
I always, remember feeling, because the whole lying to your friends thing. And I think we've talked about it too. It makes all of us uncomfortable because it's supposed to be you kind of get that secondhand embarrassment sort of.
Yeah, it's always
that's the primary thing that I remember about this.
Yeah, so it's hard to watch those secondhand embarrassing things, but I don't know. Sometimes I like them, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
I've gotten used to secondhand embarrassment because since I've been friends with you. You just get used to it.
Valid. That's a fair point.
Ugh. Oh, man. That's my friend.
Yeah. Well, without any further ado, let's watch this episode. Let's...
take a bite.
And, ladies and gentlemen, we just watched Bato and the Water Tribe.
Of the Water Tribe.
And the Water. Of the Water. It's a...
Bato of the Water Tribe, not Balto and the Water Tribe.
I would like to bring back a point that Jared made in the initial couple episodes. How do they know that this is a Water Tribe arrow and a Water Tribe knife? I guess I kind of... How does he know?
Because they're from the Water Tribe.
But they don't know what grass is.
Because they've never seen grass, but they've seen Water Tribe things.
Yeah.
That's how they know.
Now, how does Aang know it's a whale tooth weapon? Aang brings that up.
I mean, maybe...
That's right, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But I was just how does he know?
I don't know. Maybe he's came across it before in his travels as a kid.
And maybe he saw a whale right before he got frozen.
I mean, he was in the sea, so it makes sense. That's a whale tooth. And it just freeze.
Okay, we need to stop.
And then he unfreezes and he remembers what a whale tooth looks like.
I was going to say, I don't...
Mostly because whales don't really have teeth.
Depends what kind of whale. Killer whales.
Do they have actual teeth?
I would assume so. Orcas eat dolphins and stuff like that, so...
That's fair.
You'd have to have something to rip it up.
Now I want to look it up.
Yeah.
I was saying how I remember not liking this much as a kid, and watching it this time, okay, his decision makes sense. He's feeling left out, and he doesn't want his friends to leave. I think it's the...
Think about it. These are the only people he feels like he has left in the world.
But that's their dad.
That's not their dad.
Okay,
That's
no,
Bato.
but he was angry about them trying to find their dad. How can you be angry about that?
Yeah, but also think about something that is what he feels is the weight of the world on his shoulders. If anything comes up against that, it's going to be, I can't do this on my own. I can't do this on. He already feels like he can't do it. I mean, they've straight up said that.
I get that. I
relate. I relate to that struggle, and they do just kind of abandon him right when
Yeah, they do.
Balto, right when Balto.
Here we go.
Right when Bato shows up, and I do. That's the part of the show that kind of like is like, would they really do that? Like, they didn't even really like introduce him, really.
Maybe it's just because we literally just watched this. They abandoned. Well, they quote unquote abandoned. They wanted to go with Bato.
Bato. You're right. Here we go.
But they're homesick. I mean, that part makes sense to me. They're homesick. They want some to remember what it was to live with the water tribe. And I get that part before their dad gets brought up, why Aang would feel upset, because it's just it's homesick. He's homesick too, but the wanting to see their parents again, I completely get that.
Well, they can't see their mom; she's dead.
Well, yeah, okay, true. Which is maybe more reason even just to want to go see their dad.
Yeah, but again, they just kind of
dump him,
go away from him, and I can see with a 12-year-old kid with that kind of weight on his shoulders, I can see we got adults out here running around with insecurities bigger than that for stupider stuff. Yeah, so I can see why he would feel that way, and I know where you're going next. The problem comes in when he leaves conveniently right before the answer is revealed.
I wonder if there's there's still an easy way to do that in the context of a kid show where maybe they don't even. I kind of like the idea of they don't think about it. He makes that decision, and then they Sokka and Katara realize to themselves later oh, we can't really abandon him, because they're all caught up in that. And then you can still have, I guess, that scene where he comes clean, which I still hate watching because secondhand embarrassment. I hate those moments in movies where it's
you just have to own up for your mistakes.
Yep.
To his credit, he came clean.
He did, in which I think.
And it was them working together that made him do that, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they kept saying, "Oh, but Aang is the one with trust. Aang is the one with trust," and he kept giving those side eyes,
It's a better episode than I remember. I just think that I don't like it as much because of that. But the ending of the episode, the fight is really good.
It is a good fight, yeah. And that I stand by that animal creature, man. That's a freaky looking thing, and especially the way his tongue just whoosh,
Well, and the bounty hunter lady.
Yeah.
Is pretty.
According to Iroh.
Yeah. This is called Uncle Iroh has nothing to do in this episode, so let's have him be creepy old man about her. Now,
to be fair,
it wasn't horrid, but that last thing
wasn't.
is a little. It's kind of an awkward, uncomfortable chuckle. It's like, Uncle, you didn't get hit. Shh. I go, okay, that's kind of funny, but also in this day and age, maybe it's not as funny as it was in 2005.
Yeah, but my friend, yeah.
He's going to bring it up again.
Like Drew always says, you can't evaluate a piece of work outside the context of its time.
Which is fair. And I was going to say, you know what energy this gives me? You guys remember the Sandlot? When,
Oh, yeah.
Where when you're a kid, you go, and then you're an adult, you go, ooh, okay.
So it's a little different because he was
also
a kid.
Because isn't she like a full 15 years older than him or something like that?
Wasn't she 17 or something?
Something like that,
maybe
yeah.
not full of 15 years.
I don't even think she was an adult, but he's just this little kid who has a crush on her. And then they end up getting married when they're adults and having all those kids.
How old were they supposed to be in that movie?
10 or 12, right?
I thought it was. I thought it was younger than that.
I think they're that little.
So?
I mean, maybe Benny is. Certainly not Squins.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, the energy is the same, but it's a little different because he's a kid and Iroh's.
I was gonna say it. I don't think anything crosses the line, but it's like.
But up until then, it's sweet. It's funny. He's just. That's what I like about Iroh.
I do wonder how come everyone has their own individual color scent.
Yeah, I know you pointed that out when we were watching it. That's a very interesting way to just show the different.
I mean,
scents that he can
I get
smell.
it because their eyes also represent what element they can bend. and how else are you going to show that? But
Interesting. So is Katara's eyes purple? Because the
No,
scent that
no.
was smelling was purple.
yeah, but like what I'm saying is Katara's eyes are blue. All the waterbenders' eyes, when they can bend water, are blue. Mm-hmm. All the airbenders' eyes are gray. All the earthbenders' eyes, I believe, are like brown or green. I believe they might be green.
Interesting.
And
what are the Fire Nation?
It's like a
Red,
yellow.
like a yellowish reddish probably kind of thing. Interesting. I didn't notice that.
Except for maybe Azula.
What?
Except for maybe Azula.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did like at the end how they used the perfume to mask it up. That made a lot of sense.
Iroh stealing one.
I know. He just
sniffs it. Just.
He really is a slide devil in this.
Does this bounty hunter? Does she come back?
Yeah.
When does she come back?
Look familiar.
Is it book 2 or book 3?
Both, maybe.
Because
I can't remember.
I
feel like
because I remember that creature in other episodes.
I feel like it's only like once or twice. Did they use her to search for Appa?
Maybe.
That's
I
the
don't
other
remember
thing
which
about this episode is I was stressed for Appa, man. I like every time he got licked. That sounds weird to say, but every time that he tongues whipped him, it was just that sounds worse.
Paralyzed him.
Paralyzed him. I just kept like, oh, not Appa, no. It's so hard to see him get hurt.
Oh, that's another thing I would say about Aang's mentality during this whole thing. Like, the first thing that Sokka did was insult Appa.
Yeah, it's true.
He just called him stinky.
Yeah, but like...
Because he's stinky. Everyone just stares at him.
Silly.
You have your father's
But consider where Aang's headspace was at that point.
But I would also just chalk that up as just a funny Sokka joke. And he doesn't really mean that much harm. He's just kind of being silly. And
yeah, but
he has that relationship with Appa.
it lends to the cast off feeling that
outcast. Yeah.
Which again, I still stand by. That was when we were watching. That was very convenient timing.
Well, I mean, isn't it always? I mean, it is literally scripted, not just NFL scripted, but literally scripted.
I was gonna say I felt the moment where they're talking and Aang puts the headdress thing on, and Bato says, put that back. That's fragile. Yeah. And he just kind of sulks away. I go, okay, yeah, I feel that. We've probably all been in that situation as a kid, where it's like, you get called out. And
I didn't know that was the you didn't want to like mess with their sacred traditions or anything like that.
The other thing I wanted to say is watching it as an adult is weird because in that moment where Sokka and Katara find the map and they start getting mad at Aang, Bato goes, hold on, maybe we should wait. And then one of them interrupts him and they're like, no, listen to the adult children. Listen to the adult. Like, that's
one of those things where, like, if I was, and I say this as if I was the adult in that position, I'm barely an adult. So this is coming from like my. But I was gonna say at that point we were just like, just let them fight it out. They'll figure it out at the end. Sometimes you just got to work through your.
I kind of feel like there's when I say a missing, not that they wrote this, but like maybe it should have been in there. Maybe they storm off and you have a quick back and forth with Bato and Aang.
Instead of Bato just turning and following them.
I could see that.
Because they were setting that up, because that's, again, maybe we should, maybe they storm off and Bato, and Aang says something and Bato gives him some kind of adult wisdom real quick and then walks up. Because it felt kind of weird they just walked away.
That would be a good conversation. I think that
Not even just a really quick back and forth. Because, again, we don't have a ton of time.
Yeah, I think, you're right. That would have worked really well.
Oh, the other thing is the rock dodging. Is this the first time we really see Sokka being a leader of the group and being the plan guy? It's got to be pretty close.
Any other kind of thing? This is like the really strong example.
Would make sense because,
like he said, it is a coming of age event, and
it's a rite
doing that would have been
of passage. Yeah,
and I think especially the last one that he did, like when he had Aang, and they both used their bending, and he kind of led them into doing that. I think that was a really good example of all of them working together.
Mm-hmm.
You said it though. He kind of is the leader of Team Avatar.
They joke about it, and yes, they all have their bits because obviously Sokka can't be the Avatar, but also they couldn't have done anything. Like, Aang wouldn't have won if it weren't for Sokka.
That's true. And no, yeah, they each like their strength and weaknesses really do complement.
I was gonna say he also wouldn't have won if not for Katara or Zuko. But I mean, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I mean, anything else to say about this episode? Balto of the Water Tribe.
It's better than
Balto
Jack.
and the Water Tribe. Bato of the Water Tribe.
Bato of the Water Tribe.
Balto and the Water Tribe. That would have been bad for Balto. He was in Alaska. You know what it meant? He was freezing.
Yeah, he would have been really cold. Okay, well, on that note, if there's nothing else to say, if you like this episode and want to follow us and keep up with what we got going on, Jared, where can they find us on the social medias?
You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the funny TikTok, and was there another one? No, that's it, right? And then, oh, that's right, I forgot to write it. So then you can listen to us on Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and you can watch us on YouTube. Like, subscribe, ring our bell, comment, rate us on all those websites, and check out our own groovy website. It's pretty wizard.
I don't know if I've heard that one before, but okay.
I'm bringing it back!
Have you really never heard Wizard before?
Not in that sense. No.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's darn pretty leviosa, if you ask me.
Well, on that note, thank you again for listening to today's episode. Next week we got episode 16, which is titled...
The Deserter.
The Deserter.
One of my favorite episodes.
I do love some ice cream. Okay, see what I did there?
See, what we did was funny. What you did was...
Stupid!
So whether or not you're eating your dessert or watching our show, every Thursday, make sure to...
Take a bite.